Hello everyone. Today we are from Group 1 would like to present our assignment. Hi, I'm Shemeka Anadilip. I would like to present my part which is introduction. Our first company that we choose is the perusahaan otomobil kedua sendirian Berhad Pro 2. Pro 2 was established in 1992. The headquarters of Pro 2 is at Sungai Choh, Rawang, Selangor. Pro 2 have a partnership between Daihatsu Motor Company of Japan and Malaysia Corporate. Pro 2 is committed to provide high quality, safe and reliable products and services. In addition, Pro 2 is also the first and the largest energy efficient vehicle EEV manufacturer in Malaysia. Our second company is Perusahaan Otomobil Nasional Proton. Proton headquarters is at Shah Alam, Selangor. Proton was established in 1983 as Malaysia's sole national batch car company until the advance of Pro 2 in 1993. Proton was originally a manufacturer of rebatch Mitsubishi Motor (MMC) product in the 1980s and 1990s. Proton was initially wholly owned by Highcom, with a minority stake held by a member of Mitsubishi Group. The company that we choose is Proton and Pro 2. Both are from the same industry, which is automotive industry. The Malaysian automotive industry is the third largest in Southeast Asia and the 23rd largest in the world, with an annual production of output over 500,000 vehicles. The pandemic of COVID-19 have affected the automotive industry in Malaysia. The sudden outbreak of pandemic has brought threat to automotive industry in Malaysia. This will make the demand and supply of local and global change. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, I'm Tasha. So I'm gonna move on to the next part is about the SWOT analysis of DRB Highcom Berhad and Pro 2 company. Firstly, the strength of the DRB Highcom Berhad is that it is the national automobile manufacturer of Malaysia, which have become a reason of why the company have a good base and loyal customer. However, this is probably because of the company's 34 years old legacy and the modern technology that they use in their cars. Another strength of this company is about the genuine quality and their latest technology. This is because they mainly use Japanese technology to power their car. Furthermore, these companies are also value for money. Proton's cars are mainly targeted to the upper middle class society who needs to buy a car. Lastly, the DRB Highcom Berhad are expanding to a global level. The company was bound to the local market, but now they are changing their game. However, the weaknesses of the company is the smaller number of their products. Proton is budget-friendly, but they do not possess many varieties. Moreover, Proton is less exposed to the global market. Somehow they're still working on it, but still the exposure is very less. Next, the opportunity that they can take is by introducing the luxury car. They can work on releasing some cars that are high on budget. This will help in targeting the upper class of society, and they can help in bringing the company into limelight. The next opportunity that the company could take is by expanding their market. By expanding, it can lead to exposure. Launching hybrid electrical cars can also be an opportunity for the company. Since we all know that the increase in fuel price that we often heard people talking about. Plus, electrical cars are eco-friendly and it can help people who are tight in budget. The threat of the DRB Highcom Berhad is the increase in fuel price, a grave problem that the whole world is facing due to inflation. It is one of the major threats that affects the Asian market. Competitors of Proton also can be a threat to the company, such as Pro 2, which are rising in the market nowadays and they are selling more cars. Plus, the foreign brands are also approaching the Malaysia market because of the big market. On the other hand is the SWOT analysis of Pro 2 company. First and foremost, the Pro 2 strength is the product portfolio. In a matter of a few years, Pro 2 has been able to create a significant presence in various categories of cars, such as Pro 2 Beza, Alza, Asia, and Myvi. Another strength of Pro 2 is they focus on smaller cars. Currently, The Podwa company is among the largest players in the small cars market. Besides, the Japanese tie-ups is one of the biggest strengths of the company, which it has been able to successfully adapt the Japanese manufacturing principles, which are all about discipline and efficiency. Workplace system is also the strength of the company. Podwa follows the 5S system in workplace organization, which ensure that people are happy at the workplace and that there are high levels of harmony there. However, the weakness of this company is the poor reach to the market. Podwa has been focusing on Malaysia and other parts of Southeast Asia and Japan. It has been successful in this market, especially in the small car segment. Quality issue has been one of the company's weaknesses. The company has faced some negative publicity, especially on social media, for the exile failure of the vehicles such as Myvi and Alza. Market potential is one of the company's opportunity. Podwa is currently a market leader in small cars in Malaysia. Besides, the change in trends is also the opportunity of the company. The growing number of dual-income households, the increase in urban migration, more women drives on the road will all create a positive impact in the car sales. However, the threat of Podwa company is the competition among the competitors. As we can see, the main rivals of the company are Proton, Honda, and Nissan. The depreciation of currency is also the threat of the company. The depreciation in Won Ringgit will impact Podwa since the company imports in dollar and yen. In the long run, they may need to cut their costs drastically to compete against the depreciation.
Hi, I'm Izati and I'm going to continue our presentation with a trend analysis. As you can see from the slide, this is about the RB High-Comber High trend analysis. The current ratio for the RB High-Comber High at 2017 shows 0.5415 and then it's increased to 0.5821 at 2018 and then it's decreased back to 0.5471 at 2019. For the debt ratio, 2017 shows the highest ratio within this 3 years, which is at 0.7688, and then it's decreased to 0.7618 at 2018. But it's increased back to 0.7653 in 2019. For the return on asset and return on equity, both show the same trend, which is the lowest amount at 2017 and then the highest amount is at 2018 and then those amount decrease back at 2019. For the return on asset, at 2017 shows the negative amount, which is at negative 0.0059 and then it's increased to 0.0068 at 2018 and then the amount decreased back to 0.0012 at 2019. And then for the return on equity, which is same as return on asset, 2017 show the negative amount, which is at negative 0.0257 and then it's increased to 0.0287 at 2018 and then it's decreased back to 0.0051 at 2019. For the eventual turnover ratio, 2018 shows the highest amount which is at 6.824 but 2017 at 4.619 and then at 2019 at 4.025, which is the lowest amount within these 3 years. For the day sales outstanding, 2017 shows 116.8 days and then it's decreased to 89.91 days at 2018 and then it's decreased again to 85.78 days at 2019. And this is product sodium berhad trend analysis. For the current ratio, the product sodium berhad current ratio at 2017 shows the lowest amount within this 3 years, which is at 1.65, and then it's increased to 2.48 at 2018, and then it's increased again to 3.75 at 2019. For the debt ratio within this 3 year, 2019 shows the lowest debt ratio, which is at 0.083, and then the highest debt ratio is at 2017, which is at 0.203, and then 2018 is at 0.132. For the return on asset, 2017 shows the amounts of 0.069, and then it's increased to 0.090 at 2018, and then it's increased again at 0.114 at 2019. Return on equity for product sodium berhad at 2017 shows the amount of 0.087, and then it's increased to 0.103 at 2018, and then it's increased to 0.124 at 2019. For the inventory turnover ratio, 2017 showed the amounts of 10.86, and then it's increased to 17.14 at 2018, and then it's increased to 17.93 at 2019. For the day sales outstanding, 2017 show the highest amount, which is at 27.41 days, and then it decreased to 20.41 days at 2018, and then it's decreased again to 20.11 at 2019. That's all.
Hi, I'm Balkis, and I'm going to continue our presentation with cross-sectional analysis. Based on the cross-sectional analysis, as we can see, the performance of the DRB Haikom Berhad is not really good in current ratio, which is it's only 0.58 times. Because of that, they might have a higher risk to pay its current debt, while the Prodwa Berhad performed well in current ratio of 3.74 times. It shows that Prodwa Sdn Berhad has the ability to pay off the short-term liability. It also gives a good image to the company. Based on the debt ratios, the RB Haikom Berhad and Prodwa Sdn Berhad is still in a good condition. The debt ratio in the RB Haikom Berhad is 0.70%. Although this debt ratio does not exceed the 1.0 ratio, but this ratio is in a dangerous level. Meanwhile, the debt ratio in Prodwa Sdn Berhad is 0.20%. It made Prodwa Sdn Berhad can develop more performance in finance because they can control their debt rather than the RB Haikom Berhad. Return on asset for the RB Haikom Berhad got 0.0068%, and Prodwa Sdn Berhad got 0.11%. As you can see, return on asset for the RB Haikom is lower than Prodwa Sdn Berhad, and it will give company low performance on company financial. Return on equity for the RB Haikom Berhad is only 0.028%. Meanwhile, return on equity in Prodwa Sdn Berhad is better, which is 0.12%. From the statement, we can compare that the RB Haikom Berhad cannot handle their company well, and the return on equity in Prodwa Sdn Berhad more stable than the RB Haikom Berhad, even though both of the company not reaching industry benchmark. For inventory turnover ratio, we could say that Prodwa Sdn Berhad has the higher ratio than the RB Haikom Berhad, which is 17.93. It shows that Prodwa Sdn Berhad has a strong sales. Last is day sales outstanding. As we can see, the day sales outstanding for Prodwa Sdn Berhad was 27.41 days. Meanwhile, the RB Haikom Berhad was 116.8 days. It shows that Prodwa Sdn Berhad collect its receivable quickly. So that's all for this part.
Corporate issues and recent news. For Proton Holding Berhad, due to the world facing the pandemic COVID-19, Proton Holding Berhad was having an issue on the sales which was not significant throughout the year. Proton Holding sales volume drops during May. They sold 5,676 units of vehicles in May 2020, down to 46.5% from 10,611 units a year earlier as Malaysia's national car manufacturer was facing the challenging market conditions arising from the COVID-19 pandemic-driven MCO. It was rated for a value of 23.3% of market share in the local automotive industry. During the CMCO, improvement of 73.2% increase in May, which 5,676 units sold compared with March 2020 despite the need to comply with the standard operating procedures of the CMCO. Year to date, Proton's volume reduced by 23.3% for the first 5 months of the year, while total industry volume is estimated to have shrunk by 48.7% over the same time. Now for Perodua sales Sendirian Berhad. Perodua had moved 8,601 cars in March before the MCO came into effect on the 18th. During MCO, there were only accumulated of 57 units sold in April due to the shutdown. In May, Perodua sold 7,886 cars, which was comparable to the number of cars it sold in March prior to the MCO. This brings the carmaker's year-to-date tally to 52,920 units, giving it a 41% market share for the first 5 months of 2020 out of the total industry volume of 129,401 vehicles. In November 2020, Perodua recorded the highest every single day sales, which sold 23,119 units in the month and 5,027 units on the last day of the month.
So next is about the stock performance. So the first one is Proton. The sector recorded revenue of 2.42 billion for the 3 months to September 2019, rising almost half a billion ringgit against the same period in 2018. For the 6-month period to 30 September 2019, revenue was 4.66 billion, up 1.33 billion from a year ago. Proton has underpinned this sector growth with its market share moving to 15.8% year to date. In the 9 months of the calendar year, Proton sold 69,920 vehicles compared to 49,233 units in the same period a year ago. This performance means Proton is now the second best-selling automotive brand in Malaysia today. The new X70, the revamped Saga, Persona, Iris and Exora have all boosted the brand appeal to the market. Revenue for the service sector was low as post-Malaysia operating landscape remained challenging, while at the property sector, lower revenue was received from its construction projects which were at different stages of completion. So the next one is Perodua. Perodua far exceeded its own expectation last year. As the national carmaker announced during its full-year review today that it saw a record 240,341 vehicles in 2019. That a significant increase over its 235,000 unit target and represent a 5.8% jump over the 227,243 cars that found homes in 2018. The company also increased its market share from 38% to nearly 40% against an estimated total industry volume of 604,775 units. All its models are said to be leading their respective segments, with the Arus being Malaysia best-selling SUV with 30,115 units sold since it was launched early last year. The Myvi continues to be Produa's most popular model, followed by the Asia and Beza. Produa is being cautious in 2020 due to what it expects to be a competitive year and a particularly challenging first half, targeting essentially flat sales of around 240,000 units. However, it's expected to increase production by 4% from 244,400 units in 2019 to 254,000 in order to cater for growing export and to increase stock for 2021.
Conclusion and suggestion. In the long term, Produk Sendiran Berhad will be more stable and can generate more income to increase shareholder wealth. It will be attracted to the investor to pump more financial lending to company Produa. Produa seems can give more beneficial to the owners of the company. It will be more riskier for the shareholder because high risk and high return. In the short term, the RB Highcom Berhad and Proton experienced a decrease in the revenue due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The reason that is decrease in demand and also because of the competitors in other countries. So as fellow Malaysian, we need to support our local brands by buying locally made goods. Besides, the government can provide the advertising our product to outside of Malaysia. That's all from my group. Thank you.